What's up, everybody, and welcome to class number 5. And in this class, we're going to be focusing on shoulder mobility that has a bias around getting a better overhead position. So a lot of times in my clients' workouts, I notice that they have a really tough time actually getting their arms all the way overhead, right? Well, if that is the case and you can't get your arms over your head, it's going to make a lot of other exercises more challenging. It's also going to put extra stress on the front of the shoulder, a lot of times causing pain there. And in turn, it's going to make us just have not very good posture, which is going to lead to upper back pain, neck pain, and just a whole slew of things that we want to avoid, especially if we're staying good and consistent on our workouts. So without further ado, let's get into it. So with this first one, I just want to get into a good passive stretch. So I want to open up the lats first. So the lats are the muscle down our side right here. It's the biggest muscle that has relation to our shoulder mobility. And it's one that I see ends up being the tightest on most people that restricts their range of motion. So we're going to do a child's pose lat stretch. So if you've done yoga before, you know child's pose. We're going to sit back. So I want knees just wider than the hips, sitting back towards our heels. And rather than just having our arms out front, we're going to take our arms out to the side. So I'm going to go to the right first. And you're going to really think about reaching that left hand because we're going to get that left lat stretching right here. So left lat stretch, big reach right here. And just breathe into that stretch. Now, what I want you doing right here, as you just kind of find that stretch and are breathing into it, I want you thinking about ducking that shoulder towards the ground, increasing that stretch. The goal would be to get this arm and shoulder flat to the ground to increase the amount of stretch that we're getting in that lat. You might not be able to get all the way to the ground in the first go round, and that is completely fine. Just keep breathing into it. How I like to think about some of these stretches is if you can't talk through them like I'm doing, it probably means you can't breathe through them. So make sure you could have a whole conversation while you're holding these stretches, because that means you're able to breathe into it. Just trying to allow that tension to melt away. Just breathing into it. Remember, we want to hold these stretches for at least 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes. We're almost there, about another 10 seconds. All right, let's walk it over to the other side. Same thing, just big reach on that right arm to the left side, getting that big side body stretch. The lats are the most common muscle that I see people having issues with, whether it be a tightness, whether it be an inability to activate during certain movements. But this muscle, when not used correctly, is the root of a lot of shoulder issues. Just giving this muscle some love tends to clear up a lot of the tightnesses and the traps, that discomfort in the front of the shoulders. And like I said, it's the biggest muscle around that shoulder girdle, so it's very important. Breathing, breathing, breathing. Letting that tension melt away, getting that little deeper stretch. Got another about 30 seconds right here. relax that, coming on up. All right, so we're gonna start with the active stuff, and we're gonna do shoulder cars, but in a quadruped position. So last class we did them in a more I think we did them in a half kneeling position, but now we're gonna do them in a quadruped position. So this is gonna make us work a little harder through our core. And I want you to just really focus on keeping tension in that core, staying very grounded, and just working through that shoulder. So let's start left side first. We're going to do 3 reps each side. So good, solid base. Make sure you're pressing through the ground on that stabilizing arm. Left hand out front. We're going to lift as high as we can. Hold right there. Making a tight fist. I want you to go thumb, rotates down away, trying to rotate from that shoulder. We're rotating all the way around. Continue to rotate through the joint. Rotate around, comes down by the knee. Back of the hand should be facing the body. Then we're lifting up high, rotate open, lock that shoulder blade down, come back around to the top. That's 1, up, rotate, big reach around, all the way down by the knee. Up, rotate, back around. 2, last 1, up, rotate, around, down, up, rotate, and down. Getting the shoulder moving. All right, right side, lift, rotate, all the way around. Knee, back of the hand down by the knee. Lift up, extension. Rotate open first. Keep that shoulder blade locked down. All the way around to the top. Up. Rotate. All the way around. Up. Rotate. Back around to the top. That's 2. Up. Rotate around, down, up, rotate, and down. All right, so now we're going to get into some T-spine openers. So the T-spine, or our thoracic spine, mid-back, that is something that is very limited when we are stuck without having good overhead position. So a lot of times, if we're in that constant state of rounded forward at our desk or at a computer, we don't open everything up. So if our upper back can't extend properly, it makes it really hard for our shoulder blades and our shoulders to get in that proper position. And our T-spine is meant to rotate as well as extend. So if we lack rotation, a lot of times we're going to lack extension as well. So back on the hands and knees, you're going to take arm out to the side. Thumb is going to be up. And we're going to drive off this bottom arm. We're going to lift this arm up. And we're going to reach as high as we can. I don't want your hips to shift, so keep those hips nice and stable. Hold right here. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, down. So a little note when you do that one, a lot of people feel this up here when they first do this, and that's because they're not pulling their shoulder blade down as they rotate. I want you to think about pulling your shoulder blade or keeping your shoulder blade down as you rotate and not letting your trap get up and tight close to your ear. So we want to get that lat involved, want to get that T-spine involved. I'm going to go 3 reps right here. Up, lat stays down. Think about rotating the palm open even more if you need some help finding that. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, down. Let's go one more. Rotate. Hold. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, down. And switching sides. And rotate palm up, rotate open, hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Down. And rotate up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Down. Rotate. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. All right, got a little rotation in. So now we're going to get into, like I said, some extension of our upper back. So I want to get a little extension of our upper back before we get into some more of the shoulder specific work. All right, so with this one, we're going to lay flat on our stomach here. I'm going to move this microphone right here. All right, so this one is very crucial to understand tension and where you want it to be, okay? So we want to be squeezing our butt because we only want the lifting to be happening in our upper back. So our hands are going to be on our head right here because we're going to use this positioning to then lead into our next shoulder, more shoulder dominant move here. So head stays just hovering off the floor. Hands are interlocked behind the head. And I want you to squeeze the elbows up high and just find the back of the shoulders. Now squeeze your butt. Keep the core tight. And just think about lifting through the upper back. It's not a ton of movement. I want you feeling the upper and mid back working here. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest. Woo, you might get a little crampy there. I'll go 2 more. Hands on the head, elbows high, find the back of the shoulder, squeeze your butt, lift. Squeeze. Keep trying to pull those shoulder blades back, lifting the elbows high. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Down. Last one. Lift, lift, squeeze the butt, hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest there. All right, from this, we're going to go into infinity arms. So infinity arms are a little funky because it's going to use a little coordination here, but we're going to have one arm starting overhead and one arm starting by our hips. We're just doing basically shoulder cars, but we're doing them in opposite directions to get a little more coordination going on. So one arm is out here, one arm is down here. So we're going to think about lifting both of them up. We're rotating in opposite directions here. So rotate in opposite directions. Shoulder blades stay down, rotating all the way around, setting it down, then lift, rotate. And we're going to do 5 of these each side. That was 1, up, rotate around, up, 2, up, rotate, around, up, rotate, up, rotate. Just really keeping that tension in the shoulders. 2 more, up, rotate, up, rotate, up, up, and done. All right, got those infinity arms going on. All right, so with overhead position, If we can't get overhead, most likely that also means our shoulder extension is not very good either. And shoulder extension, if it is limited, it's not going to allow us to find the right tissue in other positions. So extension is going this way. And a lot of times I see people, when they try to go into shoulder extension, they just dump into their traps into the front of their shoulder. So, it goes into that same thing where if we don't have the activation of the back of our shoulder, then we are not going to be able to stabilize and use it when we want to. So with this next exercise, these are going to be extension lift-offs, and we're going to try to really be keeping the tension in our lats, triceps, and really engaging all of that stuff together. So here we're going to be down. Harder way is with the fists, easier way is with the hands, okay? So fists or hands down, most likely you're going to be here to start. I want you to pull those shoulders back. And from right here, I want you to squeeze your butt, and I want you to lift those hands or fists off the ground and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, down. Now we're going to do the same thing again, but now we're going to extend our arms. So that was the first stage of that. So shoulders back, lift here, and then now squeeze back without the elbows moving. Hold right there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, back in and down. All right, so we're going to do 3 more of those, and the last one's going to be 10 seconds. So make sure you're really squeezing your triceps and squeezing your shoulder blades, because I want your arms to get as straight as possible here. So lifting the fists off, extend, hold, squeeze. 5, 4, 3, make sure you pull the shoulders down. 2, 1, back in, down. Take a breath, and up. Extend, hold. Squeeze those triceps. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, down, down. Last one, 10-second rep right here. Shoulders back and down, shoulders lift, squeeze triceps, hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, in and down. Whew, those are tough. All right. So the next one, which is actually going to be the last exercise today, a little bit shorter shoulder class, but the intention here is just really building the tension, building the tension around that shoulder joint, right? Spend a little less time in those passive positions with this class, because I really want you working in more of those active positions through that rotation. So this next one's probably going to be the harder of the exercises we did, but that's why we do it at the end, right? So we're going to have both arms starting overhead, and we're going to do 5 swimmers on one side while we hold the other arm in the air. So it's going to look like this. So we're going to be here, we're going to squeeze, we're going to lift them both up, and you're going to hold one arm in the air as the other arm works around, just like that. And we're going to alternate sides. So holding one in the air and alternating on sides. And we're going to do 5 reps each arm. But we're going to do this 2 times. So we're going to do 5 reps each arm, rest, then we'll do it one more time. So shoulders are down away from the ears. Let's go big lift right here. Hold. Make sure squeezing your butt, build that tension, arms stay nice and straight. Right arm first, rotate around, rotating through that shoulder. Fists down, up, rotate, and then left side, rotate, round to the top. 1, around left side, down, up, 2, around, up, 3. Fourth one. There we go. 4. Last one. This first set. Round. 5. Whew. All right, take a breath for a second. This is really good for trying to isolate out that isometric hold on one side and working the other side. All right, so we got one more set of that, and you guys are done. All right, so let's get into it. Arms overhead, both arms lift. Last one right here, let's make it the best one. Rotate around, down, up, around to the top. 1. 1. Around. If you're doing them right, it should be hard to talk. 2. Keep breathing. 3. There we go. 4. 5. Whew. And that is it for our second shoulder class. Hope you guys found that helpful. Hopefully your shoulders are on fire like mine, and I'll see you guys in the next class.